Today we're going to be talking about the use of language in assessment. And we are all aware that language is a challenge, especially to people that do not speak English as their home language. Okay? And the fact that we know that how we assess at this level is through the written work. All right? So, before we can do this, we need to do something that some of you might take it for granted that it's a waste of time or it's not that important, but I feel that it is important. Okay? Where you're sitting, if there's somebody that you have never spoken to before, sit where you are, okay? But if you have spoken to all the people that you are sitting next to, you've spoken to them before, you know a little bit about them, then find somebody in class that you have never spoken to before, okay? And then, this is what we're gonna do. Say 1 or 2 sentences about who you are. At the end of day to day, you must know somebody by name. Where you come from, your home language, what is your home language? What do you teach? Why did you choose to teach? Okay? Then we will share with the whole class quickly. You only have 5 minutes. I just want to find out, how does this feel now? Now that you've spoken to somebody, you've tried to get to know somebody, how does it feel? Okay. What did you learn about this person? Why did this person decided to teach? Take up teaching as a career? Only job?
Teaching shows us both being
Oh, teaching shows you. How did that happen?
I was in teaching, I was in HR consulting, but I had the qualifications. So when the previous lecturer resigned, someone identified me. I didn't want to at the beginning. But then when I went to class, I realized that I liked this one more than my actual job. So I went into full-time teaching. Otherwise, I never thought about it in class. And him as well, he was approached by a professor in his faculty, and
you can't say he as well. He has a name.
Damn it.
That's what I want. Right.
Also, he was approached, and then he went into teaching by default as well. Now we both enjoy it.
Great. I'm so happy to hear that, because it's the same story with me, but mine is a very long one.
Well, I found out that Tinashe, he lived in the neighborhood that I grew up when he was studying at Stellenbosch.
Oh, easy.
Yeah.
But you never met before?
No, we never met before. I probably left by then already.
Okay, that's interesting.
We all seem to have the same answer when it comes, why did you choose to teach? Because it seems like it all chose us.
Coincidence.
Yeah, and then we all ended up actually loving it.
Great. Okay, that's good. Yes.
I actually found Umkaya.
Okay.
So I actually found a home girl. So
You see? And what's her name?
Azona.
I don't even look at her. You must know now it's Azona. When you meet her outside, it's Azona. This is important, colleagues, because this is exactly what needs to happen in your class. When you start your class, you need to get to know. It won't happen in one day. At least remember the name. Okay, I know I have a problem in remembering names as well, but you must make an effort, okay, to know your students. Because when we talk about assessment, it relates to the fact that when you develop an assessment task, you need to know the people that you're developing the task for. You need to know their strengths, their weaknesses, so that when you develop this assessment task, at least you have an idea that Azola will do well, Tinash will be, the top in the class, this one will do well in this kind of questions. Those kind of things, they're very important. Okay. And then the other activity that I want us to engage in is this one. It's a bit longer. We're going to work in groups, but we're going to try and make the time. I would suggest you join one of these groups because I think your colleagues are late. Now, that is the activity that I want us to do. And the reason why I'm giving you this particular activity is that we all know that in our institutions of higher learning, we are faced with diverse group of students. Okay, we are faced with a diverse group of students, and we need to, meet them halfway. And it's a lesson to us to understand one another, to accommodate one another. And if we do not know and we're not opened to that possibility of getting to know people around you, not only students, even your colleagues, try and get to understand them, because you will be sharing things. Maybe this person next to you is the coordinator of the course that you're teaching, or he or she is an HOD, and you need to understand whatever happens in your discussions in the department, you need to understand where the person is coming from, okay? Last week, we had a new lecturer's colloquium, and when you go to conferences and things like that, some people take it for granted that, I don't know her, I don't have to greet her or him, and those kind of things. And for me, it's very important, okay, to greet me, especially if I do greet you first. I expect you to respond. Okay? I don't expect you to just ignore me as if nothing has happened. Okay? It doesn't sit well with me. So those are some of the things that we're talking about. Because even with our students, there are things like that. Things that have been socialized in, that you cannot do away with. It's you, it's who you are, it's your identity. This is how you do things. So the next person must try and accommodate you, and so are you, okay? So those are some of the nitty-gritties, things that are very important in our life that we need to consider when we work together, because our students as well, they need to emulate this. They need to understand the next person that they are sitting, with, because there are so many things that they're going to have to do together. I hear in other, instances that some students do not even want to work in groups. Tough, they have to work in groups. They're not going to work alone. In a corner there, when they go out in the field, they're going to work with people. They have to. So you must try, I'm not saying you must force them, but you must try and make them understand that this is life. We're preparing you for this kind of situation, that you are going to be in an environment where you meet different cultural groups, and you need to understand these people. Okay, they are here for keeps. You can't do away with them. You can't wish them away. Okay, so that's why I'm giving you this activity. So as a group, you need to first of all respond to those questions. Can you identify languages that are spoken in your class? I know you're not going to know each and every, in a class of 300, but briefly, what languages are spoken in your class? So in that, as a group, you will identify those languages, okay, and and write them down. Which language group has the majority speakers in your class? Do you even know? If you don't, make it your business, please. You can't be working with people for the whole year. You don't even know what language they speak. Because you speak English with them, you think that's enough for you. It's not enough. Okay? Have you, as an individual, tried to speak or to learn any African language? Okay? If you have, if not, why? Why haven't you tried to learn or speak another language? And if you have, which language have you tried to learn or try to speak? Because I know at CPUT, you know, CPUT pays money for academics to learn, not only academics, the whole community to learn other languages. Okay? So there are those opportunities. I'm not charging people. My lessons are free. I'm teaching academics course on Fridays. Fridays this year? Yeah, I started last year. So those are things, they've been there for a long time, those classes that are offered free of charge. Do you think there is a language problem in your class? When you give your student assistance, do you find evidence of a language problem? Okay. CUT, the language policy has 3 languages. It's English as an instruction, language of instruction, Afrikaans, and isiXhosa. That is in the policy of CPUT. But there are many other languages that are spoken. But there is no excuse that you do not accommodate Xhosa speakers and African speakers in CPUT, because it's in black and white. Those are the languages. Do you have, okay, do that. How do you think this will help you? If you learn any other language, African language, how do you think this will help you as an academic? Any ideas on how we can accommodate diversity in our lecture classrooms? Do you have any idea how we can accommodate your students that do not speak the same language as you? How can we make the disciplinary knowledge accessible to all? Because the question of language is closely related to the accessibility of the knowledge, the disciplinary knowledge in your discipline. When the majority of your class fail the test or exam, what do you do? Just be honest, tell us, let's share. What do you do? You don't do anything? You just forget about it? If you have taken an action, has this action helped your students? The whole class has failed your test. You decide to do something about it. Has this helped those that have done something? If you haven't done anything, it's about time that you think of doing something. Okay? Because it's your responsibility that all the students in your class should progress to the next level. Nobody else's responsibility but yours. So what are you doing about it? So as a group, please, you only have 10 minutes to do that. Any group that would like to start? We only have 1 minute to report back. You can take press tick and put your fifth track there.
Identify languages spoken in your class: Xhosa, Afrikaans, English, French, and Portuguese. Which language group has the majority speakers? Xhosa in journalism, engineering, entrepreneurship, and in automation, it's Afrikaans. Have you ever tried to speak or learn any indigenous African language? If not, why? And if you have, which language? People haven't because of time, but there are some who have learned. So 2 people in the group have done Xhosa, 1 person has done Afrikaans. Okay. And then the one who did Xhosa found it sort of too technical, too higher grade. Okay. So that was the particular Xhosa they went. Do you think there's a language problem in your class? Yes. What evidence do you have? What are you doing about it, or what do you plan to do? So we discussed this a little bit, and we said for the majority of the group, the French-speaking students had a lot of problems with English. And then in my case, I found both the Xhosa and Afrikaans native speakers had issues because I teach article writing and academic essays. They really struggle with those. So what I've done about it is that I convened a workshop, and then my colleague said the evidence is she gave a safety test, and 1 student failed everything, didn't understand any of the statements. What did she do? She brought in a French interpreter who then explained everything, and she gave him time to allow her, like, to say any time that he's ready, he can come and say he's ready to take the test, and he can take it again. And then another sort of form of evidence is exams and scripts when they mark. And then also in teaching, students sometimes request for explanation of content, of concepts on more than 1 occasion.
And then how can we make the disciplinary knowledge accessible to all? Identify your student cultures and languages and use examples that relate to their cultures. Because sometimes, especially in my context of retailing, you can actually make use of Ispaza shop. So it's something that they understand, so they can apply it in that instance. And then if you have taken an action, what is this? Or when the majority of your class fails the test, then what do you do? In our group, we've never had an experience where the majority fails. Yes. Yeah, we haven't actually. Even in my experience, none of us in our group has had. Not that we get 100% pass, but we've never had majority failing. So we didn't discuss, so we're hoping to learn from what you guys have done when you get a majority failing. And if you...
So the last question doesn't apply.
So yeah, it doesn't. But obviously we do look at the scripts, even if there are those who fail, because we do want to improve as well. We look at the scripts, we look at the answers, because that guides rooms for improvement when they fail. I think.
Great. Thank you so much.
Do you think there is a language problem in your class? Most certainly there is. What evidence do you have? And what are you doing about it? Or what do you plan to do? Well, we said that we would approach it. Let me just check. Am I in the right place? Yes. We approach it by using simple concepts, simple wordings, bringing down sometimes the language and the vocabulary to a much more simple English, because the majority of our students can speak, and I speak once again for the group, that the majority of our students can speak a certain level of English, and we can bring it down to that level and we can discuss it in depth. And then once again, I suppose, bring it up. Once again, the understanding of those topics are there.
For question 1, to identify languages, we've got a long list: English, Afrikaans, Xhosa, Portuguese, French. We've got a Chinese guy this year, Shona, Sotho, and Zulu. And question 2, which language groups? Majority Xhosa, followed by Afrikaans speaking. Have you ever tried to speak or learn another language? Yes, I've tried Afrikaans. Colleagues have tried others also. She has never tried any language. Do you think there is a language problem in your class? Yes, there are language issues in our classrooms. Here are the language issues.
multiracial schools versus township schools, some feeling intimidated, lack of confidence, which leads to lack of participation. And at times there is prejudice where some are left alone, you know. So those are some of the problems.
Thank you, guys. I mean, this is enriching. What you have shared here now is overwhelming and it's enriching, because now you're sharing and you know, some people have just started teaching this year and they have, you know, they have not been exposed to many of these challenges. They are still ahead. They're still going to get there, okay? Some of you have already met these challenges. You have dealt with them, or you have not. You're stuck. You know, you don't know what to do. So this forum is for that, you know, to share. Even if you think, no, I can't do that, you know, try it and see how it works with your group. There's nothing wrong in trying it out, because the most important thing is to do something. Okay, colleagues? To do something. You can't just sit and not do something. Okay, the first thing that we need to do is to identify in your own subject, within the group, which 5 assessment words that your students find difficult. Every time you set an assignment or a test or whatever exams, they come up. Students don't understand what these assessment terms mean. They give you something totally different that you did not expect. Just identify those quickly and put them down. Yours, you know, because then we will combine them in the table, because it will be different. Okay? We can have combined. You can write at the back of what I have given you. Then we will use that later on. Can we do that in 1 second? Yeah. Or you can actually write answers and then we can combine.
But as it's number, it's very number. It's not very conventional.
You return yours for your subject.
Yes.
All right. I think we've all done that. Each one has got a list of 5 words from his or her subject that are difficult. Now, let's turn the page over. I've given you a page with a template. On that template, you have been given words, common words that we use in assessment. And then what you need to do as a group, I would like you to give us the meaning of that word and a next column, a synonym of that word, and thirdly, the meaning. We have 5 minutes for that. We're working together now. Okay? We have templates that are the same. Okay, so if the words on your template have already been given, if you have a different view to that group, you only put up your hand and give us that different view. Okay, you don't repeat what has been said if you agree with what has been said, only if you don't agree with it. Okay, who would like to start? Lillian, yes? You give us the word and then the meaning.
Okay.
And the synonym if you've done it.
Synonym for explain.
So it's explain. Yes. Your word is explain. Okay? Right? And what is the synonym?
Expound.
Expand.
Expound.
Or expound. Okay. And then, okay, the meaning, Lillian, the meaning please?
Give reasons why.
Reasons why.
No, Lillian never gives
Okay, I'm just writing. Next word. Lillian, you give us all 5.
Should I give you all 5?
All 5, and then we go to the next group.
Okay.
That has got the same one, that if your template starts with explain, then you must
Okay. The second one is review.
Review, yes.
The synonym that we thought of was comment.
Comment.
Then the meaning is do a commentary on something. Commentary on something. On recent piece of work.
Okay.
Then
If I haven't captured it correctly, please say so. Next.
validate.
Validate, yeah.
Synonym is prove. Then prove that the information is true or not. That's the meaning.
Okay, next.
On tabulate,
Tabulate, yeah.
I'm not sure about the synonym.
Okay, the meaning?
Meaning is put answers in a form of a table. The synonym that we put there was list, but I'm not sure if it's listing all the time.
Is it list?
Yes, on tabulate.
Oh,
Yeah, but we are not sure of that list as a
so you
synonym.
put list here as a
Yes.
synonym. Okay, give us what we have.
Then formulate, synonym is derive,
Right, yeah. Meaning?
meaning derive a formula.
Students ask me what's discussed.
Okay. Any group, is that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5? Is that it? Is that the lot? Okay. Any group that has got the same words? Oh, that's so. Okay. What?
Okay.
You didn't
so
discuss it as
They
a group
copied
at
us.
home.
I'm joking.
Okay. All right.
Okay. So explain, we said expand
Expand.
and extrapolate.
That's
So
why they say.
we really tried so we were linguistic and tried to not use the synonym or the action word in our meaning.
Okay.
So we said
Right.
meaning is give more information.
Give more information. So it's different to what they've given. Review.
Review, we said assess, analyze, unpack.
And the meaning?
Look at the whole and give a summary of your understanding.
Okay. Right?
So validate is proof. So we said the same thing. That's why I said to copy that.
Okay.
Show and tell your understanding.
Under validate. Show and tell. Right?
You show and you tell.
Tabulate, say.
Wait, man, let us finish. How? Tabulate, we said, is list and compare and contrast. And then our meaning is provide a number of answers on a given topic in a table.
Oh, it's the same.
Yeah. And then formulate, we said create.
Right?
So it's come up with answers on X or provide solutions.
Let's take the shorter one. Provide solutions. Okay, next group. Okay, let's finish this. We're gonna come back. Okay, next group. Give
The first one is outline.
outline. Yes.
We said the synonym is overview.
Overview. Right.
And then meaning is
Okay, let's do this to save time. Any group that has got the same word at the beginning, outline, right at the top.
These guys, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. What do you have as a synonym?
Draw.
Draw. Okay. And then the meaning?
we said it's just like providing a sketch or providing a framework.
Or summary.
Right framework.
Give a summary. Yeah. I know.
And then you said
Summary.
summary. Okay. Right. Next word.
Interpret.
Interpret. Right. And synonym?
Meaning.
Meaning. Okay. And
You said making sense. Oh,
Make sense?
yes.
Deduce.
Deduce.
That's explain.
What do you say?
Explain.
What must I write?
Interpret. Yeah. Explain.
Explain. Right. Next.
Next one is argue.
Argue. Right.
And you said synonyms are justify or motivate.
Justify. Motivate.
And then meanings give a backup explanation.
Okay. Right. Next. This group argue. What did you say about argue?
We say synonym debate.
Debate. Right. And your meaning?
Discuss point of view.
Discuss point of view. Okay. Right. Next.
Examine.
And synonym?
Synonym is investigate or analyze.
Analyze. And the meaning?
Meaning is investigation.
Okay. All right.
So we say inspect for examine.
Inspect.
Inspect.
Okay. And meaning?
To reflect.
Reflect. Okay. Next one.
Next one, identify.
Identify. Yes.
We said name,
Name. Meaning?
and then meaning we said it's about instructing or listing.
Instruct.
Extracting
Extract.
or listing.
Extract. Or
Listing.
list. Okay. And
We didn't get there.
you didn't get here.
Still arguing.
Oh, you're still fighting. Right. We're going to discuss the test because sometimes people get confused when you have not discussed the test. This is how you do the test. There's a template in front of you with a number of columns, similar to what we have, but it has got more sub-headings. You compile a list of common assessment terms that tend to be misunderstood by your students in your particular subject. That's the first point. Second point, you provide each term with a meaning, the level of assessment, the translation of that particular term. In isiXhosa and Afrikaans, so language unit is there for you. And then you provide an example of a question and the structure of the answer that you would expect. So you use that template. That is your assignment for this session.